Hello, Steve White, Steve Arts 89. Well, I've been putting off doing this video for a couple of days. There's some chatter about Picard. The premiere is getting closer. I'm trying to be optimistic, but everything I'm hearing is bad, but it's mostly coming from the usual suspects. Doomcock, Nerdrotic, Mecha Random. And I've been with them for their coverage with Discovery because Discovery was an abomination, and they did a very good job of unpacking that and talking about that. I haven't agreed with everything they've said about Doctor Who and Star Wars, but I'm trying to listen to other YouTubers as well, so I'm trying to get more of a more varied opinion. People like Kowalski and Trek Central, and people who they feel a bit shilly, but they're certainly the other side. So I'm trying to be objective, but it's so hard when you hear things like, when they're promoting Next Gen, when they're promoting Picard, their approach is to basically say it's nothing like Next Gen, and say some really disturbing things, like that the world of the next generation doesn't exist anymore. Nothing is safe. And this is what they're trying to communicate or trying to show in this new series. And I'm like, that's not Star Trek. That's not why I watch Star Trek. I don't watch Star Trek because I want to see the future destroyed, to have no future, to feel unsure, to feel unsafe, to feel threatened. I watch Star Trek to feel comfort, that there is a future, there is something to look forward to. It's not all going to end with doom and gloom and a bomb. That there's actually, humanity is going to grow and evolve and survive and thrive and be better. Gene's vision, that's what I watched Star Trek for Gene Roddenberry's vision. Now, he built that vision up for about 25 years, and I sort of realized the last 25 years, people have been trying to bring it down to our level, trying to reduce it to our level, because the people who have been in charge since Gene died haven't had the vision, haven't shared his vision, haven't had the capacity to really understand his vision and what it meant, and they just see things in terms of themselves and today. And well, we have to have it gritty and dirty and realistic like today. We need to make it relatable to normal everyday people, and it needs to have Brexit and Trump and all these problems that we have today. Those should all be reflected in the Federation. No, the whole point of Star Trek was escapism. You could watch Star Trek and see the future. You might see those things exemplified in other races, or in the past or the history, some way, but not literally, oh, this is happening in the next generation today. Today, the government is corrupt, it's abusing people, and it has to fall apart and be destroyed because basically you have no future, there's nothing to look forward to. That's the message the show seems to be giving, and I'm like, is it really saying this? Are they really going here? Is this what they think is Star Trek, what they think will sell, what they think will be popular and make people come back again and again and create a phenomenon and generations of viewers? Or is this just the negative clickbait that's being put out by the usual suspects because they want people like me to buy into it and watch with bated breath, like our lives depend on it, to get all the latest train wreck tragedy about how Picard is developing? I don't know which it is. All I know is that the people who are promoting it, the people who are behind it, the people who are producing it, the people who are writing it, are saying these things that are going along and matching exactly what everyone else is saying, what I've been saying, that this is not a sequel to Next Generation, it's not a reflection of Next Generation. They said in an interview, it doesn't have the texture, tone, format, production, or anything of Star Trek, and you may even get F-bombs. I'm like, I'm sorry, in the voyage home, the original crew was baffled by swearing because they had evolved past that in the 21st century. People didn't swear, just like they didn't use violence, like they didn't worship money, like all these things that were changed. And I have to think, why is this happening? And I sort of have had this theory for a while that basically it's pretty simple. Star Trek was a left-wing show, the most left-wing show talking depicting a left-wing future, a utopian future where there was no capitalism, no greed, no poverty, no homeless, no war, none of the things that America and the Western world thrives on. And they didn't like that. They had to destroy that. They had to create this right-wing alternative where there is corruption, where there is capitalism, where there are people bad, basically horrible, bad people like Section 31 ruling Starfleet and swearing and abuse and all these things that happen in our time and don't even happen that much in our time because they do, but they're not the norm. It's not the norm to see people be abused like we see. God, I don't want to go into the current day news examples of things, but it seriously feels like this is a political attack on Star Trek, that there is a right-wing agenda to dismantle this left-wing future dream vision because they don't want people believing in a future other than their right-wing version, their Trump future, where it's basically America is a dictatorship, and gay people don't have any rights, religion rules, black people are all shot and second-class citizens and going back to being slaves basically is what and you may think that sounds extreme, but we all know the Ku Klux Klan and the white nationalists want other races to either be removed from America or killed. They literally say it. And if you don't believe it, go on their websites and look at the shit they say. And these are the people who have supporters in the government. And all of this feeds into this situation that Star Trek is sort of, the new Star Trek is being produced in, where they want those people to watch. They want to get the normies, the regular people, the people out in the Midwest who voted for Trump. They seem to want that person to watch Star Trek, not me, not the artistic, intellectual, left-wing Hollywood people that they're saying need to not talk about their politics and shut up and all this current climate that is coming out that Ricky Gervais perfectly encapsulated and promoted, and it's really disturbing, and I think it's real. I don't think it's just clickbait and paranoia. I do feel like Star Trek is being destroyed on a political level because people had a problem with its vision. It was giving people too much hope and contradicting this future that the corporate America and the religious right and all that are trying to maintain or create, or because I don't know if it really ever went away. It feels like it didn't really go away, but sometimes I feel like it went away and now it's come back with Trump, and it's all really disturbing. And I'm looking at my notes and I'm just thinking, basically, I mean, Kurtzman is blaming Picard, Patrick Stewart, and saying, well, he wanted a different show, and a lot of people are saying that Patrick Stewart is leading this because he didn't really know what Star Trek was. Even though he played the character, his idea of Star Trek was very different. That's why the last couple of films weren't very Star Trek, because he was part of the reason why they were trying to make them for the normies and to make them very non-Star Trek. And you look at the preview for Nemesis and it doesn't even look like a Star Trek film. There's no theme, there's no joy, there's no fun, there's no rollicking adventure feeling. It's just dark and violent and action, and that's not what Star Trek is. And if it is in Star Trek, it should be contrary to the other elements, not the actual main sort of entree and main course. But they went that way, and that's why those films had declining profits, because people didn't want to see them. They didn't want to see them again because it wasn't a world they wanted to live in and they wanted to escape to. It was just like any other film, any other violent action, modern film, contemporary film. And this is what's happening with Star Trek. They're taking the special away. They're taking what made it unique away, making it not just common, but reductive, going backwards. And it's just really disturbing because I love Star Trek. It means a lot to me, and it's really worrying to see this happen. And the issue is this what they're doing with Picard. Is this the point? Is this where it's going? Or is this just, fear? Because I'm afraid that they're going to do this after what they did Discovery Season 1. Season 2, they backed off a little bit, but now Season 3, the talk is that Picard is going to, in Picard, we're going to see the Federation fall, and then it's going to pick up in Discovery where it's already fallen. And I don't want this Star Trek future where the Federation and humanity has failed and we are a failure, and we do not warrant a future because we just destroy ourselves because we're just, that's just what we should expect. So we shouldn't hope for more. So we should just accept what we're getting from the government and from politics and everything that's happening now. And I'm not willing to accept that. So there are big stakes here and big ideas and things that are very important to people, and I just dread where this could go, dread watching it and living through it. And I know it's not reality, but it kind of is, because it's reflecting a time that I'm not really comfortable with, and makes me sad for the past, where I believed in that future and I felt like we were going in the right direction and things were getting better, and now I feel like things are getting worse or not moving. And yeah, I've talked enough. I think I've gotten my point across. I don't really have any specific ideas. They haven't given out any more news about Picard. They've just talked about just a few things about, like, the world of Next Gen not existing, Patrick Stewart wanting something very different, Kurtzman saying we just followed what Patrick Stewart wanted, and all the other stuff we've gone through. They're missing their deadlines, all the rumours of licensing issues because they were making unrecognisable Star Trek, and they knew people like me wouldn't buy it, and they just pushed on anyway. And there's only so much you can speculate. We're just going to have to wait and see, and I just hope it's not as bad as it seems. I really do, because I am an optimist, basically. But I have so little to go on to hold on to that. Okay, that's it. Feel free to share, like, comment, let me know what you think. Comments are fun. Thanks, bye.